You're listening to Live at Northern, your community radio show from Northern New Mexico College. I'm your host, Stephanie Montoya. Good morning.
And I'm Ryan Cordova, the athletic director, men's basketball coach over at Northern New Mexico College. Good morning.
Good morning. I am glad you could join us this morning, Coach. I understand that you had an important event to attend a couple weeks ago when we did our last show.
You know what, Stephanie? I was really looking forward to being here with you, and unfortunately, it was the same day that we had new student orientation, so we were kind of getting ready to gear up. And my son is a freshman at Northern this year, so I spent that morning with him.
Well, that is definitely a really important occasion. So what will he be studying?
You know what? He's going to go into business, I think. He's kind of undecided at this point, and I think we all are. Our freshman year, I think even when I went into college as a freshman, I was going to be a psychology and math major, and I wasn't even remotely close. I ended up being an exercise science. Major. So I think it's pretty common for freshmen. I guess we'll visit with these folks here in a little while and find out what it is, see if they had those changes too, right?
Yeah, I think the freshman year is kind of you're figuring things out. You're figuring out college. You're like, wait, this isn't high school anymore. What am I going to do? Take some gen eds. Maybe I didn't want to do that, or
that's right.
Find out I like this.
There's so many different paths, and we're going to talk about that in a little while. But just the opportunities that you have, and then getting adjusted as a freshman is completely different as well. I think it can be a little overwhelming, I think.
But I think, it really helps, I hear, when you're involved in some type of organization or sport, and athletics is, of course, a big part of that. But at Northern, we're a really tight-knit community, and I think that helps, too, that you're not just a number, you're not just a random person.
That's right.
I remember
going to college as a freshman, and we'd take our test. They didn't even know our names. It was like on a little Scantron sheet.
Yeah.
You put your student ID number in there, and you were just the student ID. You never, your teachers really didn't know your names. I think I was in a psychology class with like 300 kids. So
yeah, freshman psychology at UNM is about 800 for just the lecture. So so just imagine that. So is your son going to be playing any sports, following in your footsteps?
He's not playing any sports, but he's going to help me with basketball. Noah sat on the bench with me since he was 3 years old. So he continues to do that, and he's actually a really good recruiter. He knows all the other kids; they're all his age, so he knows all the hot kids, especially in New Mexico, and he does that. He helped me a little bit with social media, our social media page last year as far as athletics. So he's going to help me in the behind the scenes a little bit.
Okay, sports marketing, sports recruiting, that's important stuff.
Absolutely. Everybody has a role.
Well, I know that we have a really exciting season to look forward to, starting in October. I don't know if you want to just mention that.
Sure. There's a lot of activity down at the gym these days. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of new kids, women's basketball team, men's basketball team, cross country, golf is getting going, cheer and dance. They had their first meeting on Friday. So anybody that's interested in doing cheer and dance, ladies, if you have any friends that want to do cheer dance, they're going to be starting this week. They're going to meet twice a week. But if you have any questions or anybody wants to do that, you can come in and see us in the athletic office and get signed up. We had about 15 kids show up, or 15 students show up the other day for our meeting, and I was really excited to see those numbers. I'd love to see a cheer or dance team, over around 20. And then I know that we're going to be having cross-country tryouts as well coming up. Basketball doesn't start until October, but cross-country and fall golf start now. Golf, the tournament is actually going to be in the spring, but right now we have cross country going on and cheer dance. So we're really excited about all those things. We've got a lot of new faces, both on the coaching staff and our players. We have a completely different look as far as our women's basketball team. We've got Mario Catano back, who used to be my assistant. He played at Northern, and he's back as our women's basketball coach. He brought in another alum, Jocelyn Lackey. She was Jocelyn Edwards then. She's coming in as his assistant. And then I've got a new assistant, Billy Keys, came up from New Mexico State.
Yeah, we were fortunate to have him on the show
Billy.
Last time. He has some radio experience.
Yeah, he does. He used to do the radio show down in Las Cruces for the Aggies.
And he played for the Aggies. That's my alma mater, so it's great to have him, that talent on our side, our team.
That's right. He's a talented talented individual. So we'll hear more of him on the radio. He'll fill in for me sometimes, and we'll hear more about Billy and the teams that are coming up. Basketball will start at the end of October, so I hope everybody's ready to start get your basketball game seats out and start getting ready, get them warmed up, washed up, and get them in the car.
Absolutely, and maybe in the future we'll have some tickets to give away on the show to get.
We'll even do some season passes.
Oh, wow. That's a great deal.
That's a big time one for me. So we're going to have those printed next week, and we'll do some season passes hopefully by the next time we're on the show.
Awesome. And, once we have that schedule available, I don't know if it's available yet, we can go ahead and post that online.
You know what? You're just speaking so highly of those Aggies. We're waiting on the contract back from them so that we can print our schedules.
Oh, okay.
So
well, they better. They're
the only ones we're waiting on.
Okay. Well, I didn't say they were quick.
I don't know. Their cross-country team's pretty good.
I just wanted to give some background for our listeners, whether you're just tuning in or you're a returning listener. We just wanted to let you know our program is on every alternating Wednesday from 9:05 to 9:50 a.m. This is our time to share what's new at Northern, celebrate our students, faculty, and staff, and help you all, the community, to get to know your local college.
And we'll give you a lot of information regarding the school, and we'll also have chances to win some prizes. So today we're going to give away a couple different prizes. I think that'll be that have been made available from our bookstore. But pay attention during the show, because we're going to give you little clues here and there so that you have a chance to answer those trivia questions. Of course, most of the answers are always on our Facebook page. If you go to Facebook.com/Northern New Mexico College, you can find the answers to our trivia questions.
Or on our website as well. I think one of the answers would be on our website rather than our Facebook page today. But
okay.
But yeah, I know everyone's looking forward to that.
I
did do the questions.
You did the questions. If you know where they're at, so look at our webpage too, nnmc.edu, and you can possibly find the answers to some of our questions for the trivia. For trivia, we've got some great prizes to give away, I think, right? Some mugs, I think a mug and then a shaker.
Yeah, so we'll have a double-walled insulated thermos, so keeps your drinks hot or cold, and then we have a shaker container. It actually has like the little metal ball inside that helps you mix up your protein shake or whatever.
Time to shake it up.
Yeah, there we go.
Right? Taylor Swift for you.
There we go. So the chance to win those will come toward the end of the hour. But let's get into the main topic of our show today. Today we're talking about student research and STEM at Northern. I know this is a topic we have covered a few times on our show, but our students and our faculty are always making news by research projects. They're presenting at conferences, winning awards, getting elected to national, associations for faculty. So this has to be a regular feature on our show because we're just always making news with our students in this area.
STEM is so important across the state. There's a lot of new funding from the state of New Mexico that went into STEM. And STEM, by the way, STEM in short is for STEM stands for, it's an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and math. So any of the subjects that we offer, like biology, engineering, robotics, things like that, those are all considered STEM fields. So that's science, technology, engineering, and math. Matter of fact, I don't know if you saw the paper the other day. I'm on the YMCA board in Los Alamos, and Ben Sandoval here in Española, the YMCA, they just got back from China and they won a big time award.
I saw that. And, I feel like, Española is always making the news with this kind of thing. I mean, those kids, they went to China, they scored, I think, 85 out of 100, which is a really big, really big deal. I mean, that's international. That's not even state. That's not even, national. That's an international accomplishment. And I would love to see those kids come to Northern and study with us.
I think they competed against like 35 other countries in that specific field that they were competing in.
And another thing is we have a graduate from Northern that is working at NASA, and I don't know, that was in the paper a few times that he took our chili, Española chili, into space to see if it could grow in outer space because it's actually a really good source of nutrition for astronauts. And I
don't know if it grows in space, but it's growing in my mom's backyard. It is ready to pick.
Well, it seems like they were able to grow it in space, so maybe we'll have a space chili soon enough. We'll have to get on that, but But I think we could do an entire show on, each one of these STEM areas, but we only have about 50 minutes for this show, so we'll try to give our listeners some of the highlights, but just know there's always more. For background, Northern offers a lot of different certificate, associate, and bachelor degrees in STEM fields, including biology, chemistry, electrical technology, electrical mechanical engineering.
There's so many things, Stephanie. Environmental science, information engineering technology, math, physical science, radiation protection. The list goes on and on.
Renewable energy, software engineering, and there are also concentrations you can do in some of these areas, such as microbiology and pre-health. And I think we're fortunate at Northern to have such robust offerings in these areas.
We are very, very fortunate to have those. Of course, you're using those big old words, radiation technology and information engineering technology. Like, these things are sometimes above my head. Don't worry, they're simple subjects. They just have big time names, right?
Yeah, you're in for some more big words, because we've got some smart cookies with us today talking about their research, and you might hear some more foreign sounding words.
That's right, but that's where the jobs are. I mean, these STEM fields is exactly where the jobs are. So having these students here and them knowing that there's actually a future within their field is absolutely fantastic for us and for them.
Absolutely. I always hear that there are more job openings in these sectors than there are people to fill them. And they're bringing people from out of state who have the training, who have the education, because, not enough of us here are getting that. But, we're fortunate at Northern to be educating and training people in these fields who are able to immediately, get careers in these high demand, fast growing and high paying jobs. And there are opportunities right here in Northern New Mexico, not just to earn a degree, but to get hired at LANL, for state government, for private contractors. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, that's true. And some of these, they don't even take a 4-year degree. You don't have to have a bachelor's to finish them. Some require a master's, some require different things, but some are just like our associate's program in radiological technology program. It takes about 2 years to complete. But even certificates can be done in like 2 to 3 semesters. So it doesn't really take a whole lot of time. You can get certificates, and we have that special program where, you take these 3 classes and you're guaranteed this salary at the labs. Then you take 2 more classes and you're guaranteed this salary at the lab. So the opportunities are certainly there.
I think most people don't really know about that. You think about science, you think you're going to be spending years in school, you're going to be, just kind of working in a certain lab or, doing things a certain way, but it's really broad, and you can even get a really lucrative career immediately with, just a certification. And of course, now the trend is they want people to at least have the associate's degree, because that kind of gets you a little bit more, but you can start with the certificate and then continue on, with the associates. You like that, you can go on to the bachelor's. But if you are looking for a bachelor's degree in one of these fields, or you want to continue into a master's program, research is going to be a key part of your education. And one thing I've heard is that a lot of colleges in the state, you sit in lectures as an undergraduate, you have to take some lab courses, but most students aren't participating in research, at least not until their junior or senior year, and some of them not until graduate school.
And the neat thing about Northern New Mexico College, I know that especially in biology, Dr. Ulysses Ricoy, who just left us, was really excited last time I had him on the show. He had 25 students going off to do fellowships or internships across the country, and that was really exciting for him to be on the show and share that about all his students. And they continue to go on, and here at Northern, even in their first year, we have students doing unique research, and they can follow up under a faculty member and a mentor, and get published and even present in conferences. I know one of our women's basketball players, Rayanne Herrera, she was presenting, and she is quiet as a mouse, and she had to learn to present, and she's out there and having to speak and answer questions, and it's exciting to see these students grow.
And we have students traveling, statewide, regionally, nationally, internationally to present and compete, and or even winning some of those competitions, as we'll hear more about today. But it's really exciting that students have the ability to do that here. They have their name on a peer-reviewed, published paper, which, some people can't even say until they're in the graduate level or they're a faculty member. So
that's why you said that part, because I can't even say that part. So we left that to you to say all those big words.
That's okay. That's all right.
I use like ball and Chez or the or whatever it is, right?
Well, we need to break it down for people too. So, we can keep it real. You can help us keep it real.
Yep. That's right. Keeping it real.
But we are fortunate to have some of these talented student researchers joining us on the show today to talk about their projects. Joining us are Jasmin Gutierrez and Chez Madrid. And we're going to go ahead and start with Chez. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, so I understand that you are actually a biology student. Why don't you just tell me a little bit about that and about yourself, your goals, your education?
Well, I'm originally from Conjilon, New Mexico.
Hey, there's good fishing up there.
Yes, there is. I'm a junior at Northern New Mexico College, where I'm majoring in biology, and I plan to get my doctorate's degree in pediatrics.
Okay, so you're going to go all the way. That's awesome. Okay, so I understand that you're engaged in some interesting research right now. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So our cancer biology lab is about working and researching on C elegans, which are microscopic roundworms. I like to point out Sidney Brenner, who was a biologist, and he won the Nobel Prize in researching these C elegans as a model organism. And roundworms are a good model organism to study because their cells undergo different stages of mitosis and meiosis. And for our research, we're trying to figure out if high levels of glucose concentrations affect the cells in the germline from one generation to the next.
So just to kind of break it down, I guess, for the audience, mitosis, meiosis, that's kind of when the cell, divides, I think.
Yes, it is. In the mitosis zone, you have the cells that aren't sure what they're going to become yet in the germline of the worm, where they then turn into meiotic cells, where they transform into sperm and oocytes.
Okay, so you're doing, this research with those roundworms, and what is it that you're looking to find, or that you're trying to find out?
If high levels of glucose affect the cells in their germline.
Okay, so you were also talking earlier before the show about kind of the implications this might have for cancer research. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about that.
Unfortunately, I don't know too much about the cancer and diabetes, but
I think so. We discussed this on one of the shows that we had not too long ago, and the study with the worms is the fact that the glucose breaks down. So really, they're studying worms, so then they can see how glucose, of course, being sugar, right? As we intake sugar, as far as us as a human body, what kind of impact that sugar has on the breaking down of the cells, because they've shown that high glucose levels help cancer cells really. Cancer cells spread quickly within your body, right? And they use the glucose to continue to spread quickly. So as far as the last show, that's what we talked about, was the glucose levels in the worms and the impact that it had on those cells and how fast they spread, right?
Yes, correct.
And I think that's really interesting because, you think about a roundworm, you're like, how does this have any real world applications? But with it being a model organism, you kind of get to observe some of these phenomenon and really think about, the way we eat and how that affects our bodies, builds them up or breaks them down. And, I think that's a lot more there than people think.
Definitely, it's really important. I mean, it's a great opportunity for these young students to learn just as far as being in a lab, right, and going through and understanding that how glucose breaks down, how mitosis works, or meiosis, or any of those different. I mean, I know this is way above my pay scale here, but just having an interest in that. If you're going to go into pediatrics later on, having that lab time and having having a mentor and being able to study these things is really going to help you in the future. And who knows, maybe you'll work in the cancer center of a pediatric hospital, right? Something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
never know. I personally think that working in lab and doing research has been the building blocks for my future career.
And speaking of
fun.
working in the lab and faculty mentors, who is your faculty mentor?
Dr. Nandi.
Okay.
Sushmita Nandi.
Awesome. And what has that been like working under her?
She's an amazing woman. She's taught me so much. You know, whenever I'm confused, she always has good advice to give me, and she's always there supporting me.
And working in the lab environment, what has that been like for you?
To be honest, it was scary at the beginning. I wasn't knowing what I was getting into, but with Dr. Nandi's help, I've been enjoying it a lot.
That's awesome. And I know that, in the past we featured Dr. Nandi about, this research in particular. But one thing that's new that, we didn't know at the time was that you won the Best Poster Award for the NISC prep category at a New Mexico biomedical research symposium. Do you want to tell us about that major accomplishment?
Yes, when they called my name at the beginning, I was so shocked that I freaked out, wondering if that was even me. But it was a good experience just to talk to all the different doctors over there, knowing what they're doing in their work field.
So this is a statewide organization. I know it even goes nationally. So is there like a next step now? Do you move on to like another symposium, or how does this work?
Yes. Soon now in October, I'll be going back to Las Cruces and presenting my work for the AMP Book Scholarship.
Awesome.
Same research that I did at the last symposium.
Okay, so this can really take you quite a ways. And are you thinking of expanding on that research, and maybe going back, looking at what you did, or are you more looking to new projects now?
It's the same project. We're gonna be talking, and I'll be knowing more about what the cells do in diabetes and cancer.
Awesome. Well, we'll be sure to keep an eye on you, and maybe we'll see more awards here in your future. And on behalf of Northern, congratulations on your success.
Thank you so much.
Is there anything else you want to say to our audience about your research, your experience as a student, or your goals?
That's it.
Okay.
Not
Thank you,
even a
guys.
shout out? Not even somebody to shout out to?
Is mom
out there?
listening? Dad listening?
family?
Anybody?
Well, I'd like to thank Northern and my mentor, Dr. Nandi, for getting me this far,
Good for
and
you.
my family and my boyfriend.
Awesome. Okay, well, great. Thank you, Chez, for joining us. I know she has to get to class because she's always working hard on the next thing. But thanks for taking time out of your busy day to join us.
Thanks.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck this semester with all your classes. Have fun with that, and good luck in October in Las Cruces.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Now, I just have one last question. Since you're from Conjilon, the study with the roundworms, is it because you grew up fishing?
No.
No?
I don't know
You
if those
did-
are
had
fishing
no-
worms.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking.
That could be a research project. Maybe you can try that. See if roundworms make good bait.
No, I don't know. You never know, man. You should see the bait people use sometimes. It's crazy. I mean, if you use a marshmallow, maybe a roundworm, huh?
Maybe.
Well, if you're interested in fish, we're about to hear a lot more about fish. So
Heck yeah.
you asked for it.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, well, moving on to our next two student researchers joining us. We have Jasmin and Jonathan, who are also studying in biology and both working on the same project. Morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Hi, I'm glad you're able to slide in and join us this morning, Jonathan.
Yeah, I don't know if I got the second email because I thought I was supposed to be at 9:45, and then Jasmin, because I was doing chemistry homework, and then Jasmin texted me and she's like, "You're late." And I'm like, "What do you mean I'm late?"
Well, if you're doing chemistry homework, I guess that's an okay
Only if
excuse.
chemistry was at Starbucks this morning because I saw you parked in front of
That is not my try. There are two Cadillacs. Okay.
Oh, called out. Okay. All right. So I understand that the two of you are also biology students. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you're from, and what your goals are?
Ladies first, Jasmin, please.
All right. So I'm originally from Abiquiu. I am a sophomore at Northern New Mexico College in the biology field. I'm hoping basically my main goal is to work at LANL, Los Alamos National Lab, and I don't know, get good grades, high GPA. It's kind of my goal right now. I'm reaching for it.
That's a good goal.
Main focus.
And what about you, Jonathan?
I'm Jonathan Enriquez Madrid. I'm from Española. I'm the first in my family to go to college. I don't even think I was going to go to college because after high school, I was like, yeah, I don't know what to do. Probably just going to work. And then that like sucks for a bit. And then my mom was like, yeah, you should go to college. And I was like, all right. So I've been going, I'm a sophomore now, and I would say it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Many doors have opened up like this. I've been to the Bahamas with Dr. West. I never thought I was going to do that because like, you know, I'm like, you're a boy like from Española. You don't think like, oh, damn, I'm going to go to, especially like Mexican, you know. You're like, you know. But yeah, like, yeah, I've been doing good. I'm very, very happy in the position that I am today.
I'm glad you listened to your mom. You know,
Yeah.
if there's anybody out there that is not listening to their mom right now and their mom's saying, you know, you need to go to college, you know, you could end up going to the Bahamas. You could keep working at, you know, Starbucks or whatever, or you could go to the Bahamas and do some research. So, and so what are you thinking of doing career-wise?
I've asked myself this question many times, and I think I'm finally getting like a direction, you could say. So I kind of want to be the next Steve Irwin. You know who that is, the crocodile hunter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Like with crocodiles or with another animal?
I want to say with a bunch of different species, I guess, just because I want to like study their behavior. Because I've been looking into like this other researcher, her name's Barbara King, and she like sees like if animals feel love, if they feel grief, and I kind of want to get into that. So maybe after undergrad school, I'll try and hit her up if I can.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I also want my own show, but that's like, you know, that's like the stars. But I think I have the charisma to do it. I think.
So
That's
it seems like it. I would be very interested to
Thank you, miss. Thank
to see that show and all the different animals that, you know, might feature on there. But I understand that the two of you are working on a project with pup fish, and I have never heard of a pup fish. Do you want to describe maybe what that is?
So the ones there's a bunch of pup fishes, I would say, pretty much anywhere, I guess, but the ones we worked from were from the Bahamas, and we worked on two lakes, Crescent and Reckley. Now, Crescent holds 3 species of pupfish. We have the C Squamator, which is a scale eater. He'll swim up to the fish and eat their scales, which is like a rare diet. We have C Bronchothyroides, or we call him the bozo, because he has big old lips, and he uses it to crush like snails, like hard-shelled organisms. And then we have the normie, which is C variegatus, and he just eats like the poop or whatever, and he'll eat anything. He's a garbage can.
You know, that you make it sound really, really like these fish have different personalities, different characters.
They
yeah.
definitely do.
And you know, it's just especially describing the way they look. I don't know if anyone out there wants to Google that just to kind of see what. I'm kind of curious because I can't even conjure a picture in my mind right now. But I understand that you all have like some tanks down in the biology area where you keep these fish and do research.
Yeah, we have, I believe it's 6 to 7 tanks. Right?
It's growing.
It's getting bigger, and basically we keep them all separate. We try and keep them from interbreeding in order to keep our research pretty clear and straightforward. But it's pretty interesting. We have to keep it at a certain level of salinity, like a certain amount of salt, because they are from the Bahamas. They're not from the ocean. They are, being like Jonathan said, they're from inland lakes. They're not as high salt content as the ocean, just so it has to be salted, but not as bad as much as the lakes, and being that the salt evaporates, we have to make sure they stay healthy.
So they're kind of picky pets too.
Yes, they are. Very picky.
I bet these fish are wondering, how did I end up in New Mexico? One minute I was in the Bahamas, and now where am I? What's going on? I don't know if they know.
They only know if they're in New Mexico if they eat the green chili.
The green chili flakes, put a little chili flakes in their water. I'm sure that won't be too good for them.
Hey, it's an experiment. You
there we
know.
go. We're getting lots of ideas for more research. I don't know if we can get funding for some of these half-baked ideas, but anyway, why don't you tell us a little bit about, you know, what your research actually is with these fish?
All right, so the first The first research was when me, Dr. West, and another companion, Estrella, we went to the Bahamas and we conducted it over there. And we were trying to see if different species of the pupfish, if they had a sexual preference for their own species, a different species, or a fish from a different lake. So we would run trials. We'd have a tank. We separate in 3 compartments. We'd have the focal fish, which is the fish we're studying, in the middle, and 2 fish of either a different species or a different lake on the sides. And then we'd time how much time the focal fish spends on either side.
Okay, so the dating lives of fish.
Exactly.
Maybe there's a reality
I'm taking
show in
notes,
that.
miss. I'm taking notes.
I don't know if that applies to real life. And so basically you're seeing if what their diet is or what they eat or what their bacteria, whatever is in their intestinal tract has an effect on who they're attracted to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That is a really interesting thought. I don't know if that translates to humans, but it might. It might.
It does, because I like French fries, and that makes me like McDonald's.
Oh,
Okay. Well, yes. That's.
And
I
if
don't
she
know.
don't like McDonald's, that ain't
That
gonna
is
work.
so
Right.
honey.
I think it's more like a dating site based on what you eat or where you
Yeah.
frequent as your
My
fast
wife
food.
doesn't like French fries, and she doesn't like McDonald's, so we have to compromise.
Okay.
So do the fish compromise?
Ooh.
we're trying to figure that out right now. We're working on that aspect.
So who is your faculty mentor?
Our mentor is Dr. Rhiannon West at Northern New Mexico Labs. Northern New Mexico Labs. Northern New Mexico College. Jonathan's been working with her for over 2 years now.
Yeah. I'm the OG.
Yes.
Original for those of you who don't know the lingo.
I've only been working with her since the past summer, but it's been an amazing experience. Within the short amount of time I've been with her, it's already opened certain doors. I've been able to work with collaborators from LANL. His name is Dr. Armand Dichosa, and we were able to work at the New Mexico Consortium in order to extract DNA from the fecal material of all of our fish. We're going to use that, and we're going to try and see if that has anything to do with, like we said, the social behaviors of these fish. And that's how we know for sure that what their bacteria shows us, if they choose to be with one species or the other. It just, at this point, we're not completely done, so we haven't got any hardcore results yet.
I think one thing that is so cool about this is you're studying something that I don't know if anybody else on this earth is studying right now other than, you guys right now at Northern. So it's like totally original, unique research. So, that's really cool. And then, I'm sure it looks great on your resume, to get into grad school, to get a job, going forward that you were able to do this. And then, traveling to the Bahamas, like that's an opportunity, in itself. And, why don't you tell us a little bit more about your experience with that, Jonathan?
So they were sleepless nights, let me tell you, because it is so humid. Because so we have we'd have the lab, and that had air conditioning, so that was awesome. But like the dorms themselves, they had no air conditioning. So at night, I'd be just laying down there with my eyes closed, and I was like, I cannot go to sleep. So I'd sneak out of the dorms and go to the lab and sleep on the concrete floor there because there was air conditioning. So I'd wake up all messed up, but it was like better than not sleeping because it was hot. It was humid.
Did they at least have fans in the dorms?
I mean, it didn't work. It was just circulating hot air.
No. I had to do this. I went to Jamaica when I was about your age probably, and in Jamaica it was very similar. So what I did is I got a wet towel before I went to bed. I got a wet towel and kept it on the bed, and the fans are blowing, but it's just blowing hot air. But when you wet your body with the wet towel, it cools your body down quickly.
Next time.
That's a poor man's air conditioner, man.
There you go.
I used to do that
Science.
in my truck too.
We take for granted this air condition, that we have, here in New Mexico. But I guess that wasn't your typical lounging at the resort, Bahamas vacation. But you still got there.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't think you'd be complaining about being in the Bahamas, really.
Okay, so you say that because everyone I tell, they're like, yeah, I went to the Bahamas. Oh, that'd been so nice. It was vacation. I'm like, hell no, it was not vacation. So here was a scenario. I would wake up at 5 a.m. because we have to go get the fish. I'd be tired as hell. It'd be funny because I was always the first one there. Dr. West was late, and so was Estrella. I was the first one there. And then we'd walk because we'd have to walk through the forest, so through the bush, slashing weeds and whatever. We'd get there. We'd stay there for 5 hours trying to catch fish, and then I'd have to walk him back with heavy buckets. And then after that, we'd have to separate them, then go to lunch. Then after that, go to the lab, and then repeat. So, and then, also the mosquitoes. the mosquitoes were awful. Because they didn't get me so bad, but like they got Dr. West and it stayed up pretty bad.
Okay, so yeah, some hard work, blood, sweat, and tears involved with your research. All right. Well, that's certainly, still a great opportunity. I'm sure you're going to cherish the memories from that. Definitely you have stories to tell. So
I don't think anybody from the camp department feels bad for you, man. You guys are out there in the field sweating with mosquitoes and bugs and snakes and in the sun with no air conditioning. That's just an average Tuesday for them.
Well, those are our bugs and our snakes. We know them. We know what to expect with them. I don't know. You go off to the Bahamas, you got some new weird looking animals you haven't seen before. So what is it like working in the lab at Northern?
Fun. It's definitely fun. We have a great time. Our team is pretty great. Every time, pretty much we become kind of like a little mini family, I'd like to say. And we get to see a lot of cool things that we never probably would have seen before. I didn't even know there was a fish lab in Northern before Dr. West approached me about possibly working there over the summer. And now anytime I say I work in the fish lab to any of the other biology students or any students in my classes, they're all, what? They get so excited, like, we have fish here. And I'm like, yeah, it's so cool. And it's just really fun. It's a good way to break the ice with people too. And I'm kind of shy, so it's helpful because I can nerd out about the science of it, and they kind of listen because they know anything about it, and it's pretty fun.
I think it's interesting. You wouldn't think to ask about it, but it's interesting. And what has your experience been like, Jonathan, working in the lab?
It's been good. I've met a lot of new friends. Jasmin is, I would say, the most recent. My good friend Michael Justice, he couldn't be here, but a shout out to him.
Hey, Mike.
Just like learning about the fish, because when I went to the Bahamas, I didn't know what I was doing. Like Dr. Wesley just told me to do this, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. But like now, the longer that I've been with it, I'm understanding more, and I'm like, okay, this is good. I like this. This is like what I want.
It sounds like you like to do what people ask you, and then you figure out that you like it.
Yes.
That seems like a pattern. That's really great and exciting. And our faculty at Northern are really talented. They're publishing research, but then they're also have really good rapport with our students and are really good at the classroom aspect, the lab aspect, teaching our students, mentoring our students, connecting them with graduate school, connecting them with work jobs after college, and then also making sure that about these opportunities for scholarships, for getting published, for participating in poster competitions. And I think that's really great. It's not like you're just another researcher in their class or in their lab, but you're actually an integral part of what they're doing. And so I think that's really exciting. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jasmin, Jonathan, Chez. We'll let you get back to your research and your classes. But thanks for taking the time to join us.
Absolutely. I also want to say hi, Mom. I know you're listening.
Awesome.
Anyway, thank you all for having us, and we appreciate your opportunity for letting us speak about our research and our experiences.
Well, we'll definitely keep an eye on all of you going forward. We might have the next Nobel Prize, science winner or, astrophysicist or who knows what, coming out of our college. So
biology show.
Yeah, obviously, your television show.
Wait for a miss, it's coming.
We're going to have to keep an eye on that. All right.
The roundworm hunter.
There we go. There we go.
Can I give a shout out to my mom? It was her birthday yesterday, Carolina Madrid. So there you go, Mom.
Okay. Happy birthday, Mom.
All right. Good. I was expecting you to sing Las Mañanitas.
No, I'm a dancer. I'm not a singer.
Okay. Thank you guys for visiting with us today. We really appreciate it. And it's time for us to give away some prizes, some swag. So, but you guys, if you're gonna try it, you have to leave the room and then call in. Okay. The number here, the hotline here is 753.
Oh, they have an unfair advantage. They know all the answers.
753-8131. We're gonna give away some swag from the Northern Bookstore, and the first person to call in 753-8131, you're gonna get a chance to win a tumbler, I believe it is, or What's today's first one?
Tumbler, thermos, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, yeah, tumbler, thermos. We're going to give that first one away. What's our question today, Steph?
Okay, so the first question is, name 2 STEM degrees offered at Northern. 2 STEM degrees out of many.
Oh, we mentioned them earlier. I told you.
All right, we've got a caller already.
Wow.
Good morning.
Hi, I'd like to be a caller for the question.
Yeah, you're on the air with us. Why don't you go ahead and give us the answer?
It's all you. Do you know 2 of them?
Biology and what was the other one? Biology and chemistry.
Yep, those are 2 of our degrees. So
Great job.
Congratulations. Who are we talking to?
This is Mariah Trujillo.
Okay, Mariah, are you a student?
Yes.
Hey, that's great. It's great that we have students listening, and you know the answer to the question. That's even better. You got 100 on today's test.
What are you studying?
Thank you. Nursing.
Okay, nursing. You know, sometimes you'll hear STEM H where you add health on the end of that. But, you know, we have our own healthcare programs at Northern. We'll be doing a show just featuring those because that's, you know, a whole nother set of offerings there. But
That's interesting. I'm new. I'm a freshman this year, so I'm still deciding what to do.
Okay.
Well, you got a good start. You already got the first 2 questions right. So you're off to a great start.
Well, we'll help you,
Thank
you. Figure that out. You can go ahead and head down to our bookstore at Northern. We'll give them your name and just go ahead and pick up your prize.
Okay, thank you.
Later this morning. Yeah.
You have a great day today.
You too. Thank you.
I think.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, I think we have another prize. Hang on.
We do. We have one more prize.
This one's going to be that water blender bottle with the shaker, right? Shake it up.
Shake it up.
So we have a second trivia question then. And today's second question is...
Well, they're already calling.
Oh,
Well, I don't know how you can call if you don't know the
We
question
haven't even
yet.
asked the question yet. The trivia question is, what does STEM stand for? What does STEM stand for? I mentioned it earlier in the show. You can win by calling in right now, 753-8131, here at the Cadizas Studios. That's 753-8131. What does STEM stand for? Hopefully we have a call. Good. There we go.
Okay. Good morning.
Is this the radio?
This is the radio.
You're listening at Live at Northern. Do you have an answer for our trivia question?
Yes, I do. It stands for science, technology, engineering, and math.
Awesome.
That is
Did I get it right?
correct. Ding, ding, ding. You've got it.
Hey, who are we talking to?
Tomas.
Tomas, what's your last name, brother?
Tanus.
Tomas Tanus. That way we can give your name to the Northern Bookstore. Are you a student at Northern as well?
Yes, it's I'm going on my second year.
Man, we have some smart people at Northern. We've had 2 callers from Northern, and they both got the questions right. It must reflect on the faculty there. They must be teaching you all the right stuff.
The level of education, absolutely. Yeah, majoring in radio trivia here.
That's awesome, man. So you got yourself a blender bottle. You can shake it up, Tomas.
Alrighty, thank you. You two have a good day.
Thank
Awesome.
you. You too.
You have a great day, buddy.
Well, we've only got a couple of minutes left, but I wanted to get to some quick announcements. Upcoming events. Northern will host the 2019 Annual Breastfeeding Awareness Fair this Friday, August 30th in the Nursing Building from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please join us for this free community event featuring door prizes and live entertainment, food and refreshments, and the unveiling of the breastfeeding mural in the Nursing Building. This event is brought to you in partnership with the New Mexico Department of Health, New Mexico WIC, and the New Mexico Breastfeeding Task Force. Again, that's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Friday. And speaking of STEM, the Department of Biology, Chemistry, and Environmental Science has announced its Fall Biology Seminar Series. If you are interested by anything you heard today, our faculty are going to be talking about their research. The first presentation will be this Friday, August 30th at 12:30 p.m. in classroom GE 207-208, featuring Dr. Scott Braley of the Radiation Protection Program. He's a new faculty member. He's going to talk about the Chernobyl disaster disaster and the current state of the site and its ecology and the future of the area. So that sure to be an interesting lecture. We'll put the information on our website. The next one will be next Friday, September 6th, with Dr. Wes Colgan of Biology and Environmental Science, talking about fungi to fruit flies, his journey as a scientist. He'll discuss the wide array of projects he's been involved in throughout the years, highlighting research and students, and that's, another interesting one. We've got this series going all the way through the fall, so we'll make sure to post that.
That's fantastic. We also have a student barbecue today.
We do have a student barbecue today. It's our welcome back barbecue.
Yeah. So if you're into getting a burger and a hot dog, you come down to the gymnasium. We'll be doing that this morning around 11:30, I believe. Okay.
Yeah, that's exciting. And
so you come down and join us down at the Eagle Memorial Gymnasium. If you're a student, faculty, staff, come on down and see that side of campus today. Any other northern briefs this morning?
That's it for now, but we'll always post things on our Facebook page and our website. You can keep up with us on Facebook at facebook.com/Northern New Mexico College. Follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at Northern NNMC. We're also on Snapchat for those of you who are using Snapchat, and you can visit our website at nnmc.edu or call 747-2111.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks here on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday. So we'll be back in 2 weeks for more of your Northern news and views.
Well, thanks for listening, and we hope you all have a happy and safe Labor Day weekend. Gracias.
It's quite simple. We play the best music. KDCE Radio.
KDCE, Española, Santa Fe Taos, 950 AM and 100.7 FM. KDCE Radio.